6, sección 5. Vamos por Habla de Historia 5 de 6.
How did she predict that awful event?
¿Cómo ella predijo ese horrible evento? ¿Cómo predijo ese horrible evento?
We've done a lot of work in very little time.
We've done a lot of work in very little time. Comencé un trabajo nuevo en el 2020. I start a new job in 2020.
She predicts that I'll have a new job by next year.
She predicts that I'll have a new job by next year.
Hadn't you ever tried shrimp before?
Tried.
Hadn't you ever tried shrimp before?
Hadn't.
Hadn't you ever tried shrimp before? Hadn't you ever tried shrimp before? Try. Before.
Hadn't you ever? No, yet.
I started a new job in 2020.
You'd fallen asleep before we got home.
You fallen asleep.
Asleep. You'd fallen asleep before we got home.
Before
We
got
home. You'd fallen asleep before we got home. You'd fallen asleep before we got home.
Tú te habías quedado dormido. You'd fallen asleep. You'd fallen asleep.
Before you went to France, hadn't you learned to speak any French?
Antes de que tú vengas a Francia, tú ya habías aprendido a hablar francés. Yo podía decir una o dos palabras. Pues creo que nuestra compañía ha tenido éxito. Yo nunca predije esto en los 10 años. Yo no predije eso 10 años atrás.
In a previous life, I was a waitress at a nice restaurant.
Previous life. Lynn ha hecho la cama temprano. Tienes la campana. Ella previa la noche anterior, pero ella todavía está exhausta en la mañana.
Morning.
¿Crees que la generación tenía una vida más fácil? Do you think the previous hadn't you had told me that he was coming? Tú me has hablado que las nuevas noticias están viniendo. Tú eres llamado. Nosotros habíamos hecho mucho trabajo en muy poco tiempo. We had done a lot. In very work in a short time. In very little time. We had done a lot of work in very little time. Who do you voted in 2010? Who did you vote for in 2010?